What's up, guys? It's the one and only African superstar back at it again with another walking vlog. I want to give a shout out to the African superstar family. Thank you so much for your genuine love, support, and patronage of this platform. I would also like to remind you guys we have an upcoming tour. So if you want to come and see me in person and spend some private quality time, please don't miss our exclusive celebrity collaborative tour, me and Mr. Taye Uhuru, October 19th through the 26th. Be there or be square. Today I want to talk about something unfortunate I got made aware of just last evening. So I was scrolling on my YouTube and I saw a video from my good friend Oshay Jackson, in which he was talking about the requirements to Sierra Leone citizenship is now changing. And when I proceeded to watch the video and I proceeded to understand why it's changing, I was so dismayed to find out the reason why.
Africa is like the NBA. It's a copycat league. And whatever one African country does very well, others will start to follow. And we got to be honest, Ghana was the first country to even really want to have a relationship with the diaspora in some capacity. That has also been the case for many years. It's not like Ghana just started doing this. Ghana has always sort of done this, but the other countries were not really trying to follow suit until Ghana came out with the year of return. Now, once the year of return came out and everybody came through there and spent all that money and it was a big marketing success, people started getting on the clock. And a lot of countries started looking at how they can do it a little bit different. Liberia flirted with its own version of the year of return, but it didn't quite work out like that for now. I think they're still working on it. Sierra Leone had a better idea. Sierra Leone said, we're not going to do the year of return because we can't beat Ghana at the year of return. But what we can do is give automatic citizenship by ancestry. And this was a great idea. It's been the greatest idea that I've ever heard about. But every great idea has flaws. So many people started going to Sierra Leone through either tours or through the AfricanAncestry.com lineage exam. And then if they could prove that they had lineage of Sierra Leone, they would get automatic citizenship and they would spend $500. Now, my good brother, Dynast Amir, who's also from Sacramento, California like me, and he's one of my best buddies here on YouTube, had a very successful tour that was taking people to Sierra Leone. And again, he was an insider to the game. He was dealing with Sierra Leone and even had Sierra Leone citizenship himself. And he made some complaints about the fact that a lot of the Black YouTube community in the Pan-African world were making content that a lot of people in Sierra Leone didn't appreciate.
A lot of these beefs are for views and ratings, and they get us nowhere. Again, it gets us nowhere. And this is what's going on. Let's zoom out and look at bigger picture. People are watching this. People are watching these petty beefs, and they're like, oh man, these folks are so dysfunctional in this space. African governments are watching this and they're taking notes in regards to the dysfunction that is going on and taking place in the community. And they're starting to think twice about the whole citizenship situation. I'm not saying that's the main reason, but it's part of the reason. Because at the end of the day, myself included, what major export is the diaspora, we'll be specific, the ADOS, I hate using this term in this context, but to make it simple, the ADOS FBA are the Black Americans who are here, who are descendants of enslaved Africans. What are we, exporting, would be the term, or bringing of value as a collective to Africa?
In other words, people in the Pan-African sector of YouTube were beefing, were fighting, and countries like Sierra Leone did not like it. But this was the kicker.
I said this years ago. Pan-Africanism without a check is Pan-Africanism in vain. And now, even in Sierra Leone, and it came up more, like I've never heard this come up more this time around during this citizenship conferment ceremony process than the last 5 or 6 that I participated in. They're like, okay, you guys, we understand that you're descendants of slaves. We understand what happened. We understand the slave trade. We understand the racism that Black people have endured in America. Welcome home to Africa. What are you guys going to do now? How are you guys going to, like, the amount of times they brought up, listen, we need you guys to come here and invest. It's time that you put your money where your mouth is, myself included. The symbolism of the struggle is over. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. And I said that years ago. I said it was coming. And it's here now. They're making the Sierra Leone citizenship process harder now. Moving forward, I don't know the exact requirements that are going to, or what the exact requirements are going to be moving forward, but it's going to be harder. And the antiquated thinking that a lot of Pan-Africans and Black folks who are relocating to Africa have is not going to cut it. And they're letting us know. Facts.
You see, on this particular clip, he's talking about the fact that, hey, Sierra Leone, you guys are getting citizenship and you are not investing to the amounts that we want you to. Now, it's funny, I released this video, this whole entire video, about a year ago. And Brother Dynast Amir saw the video and it kind of offended some people in Sierra Leone. So I removed the video so it wouldn't be any issues. But now I'm remaking the video based on what I'm seeing. And so if you want to get citizenship in Sierra Leone right now, here's what you have to do. So Sierra Leone got tired of the diaspora getting citizenship by DNA or by heritage, because according to them, y'all wasn't spending enough money, okay? And I get that, I understand that. And again, this is what happens when you don't think out things clearly and you're just trying to copy somebody to get to the bag. So now what they have is a naturalization pathways that started on January the 1st, 2025. Now, if you are not Sierra Leonean, okay, you basically can get a citizenship of $140,000, all right? 90 days to approval, and then you can get $10,000 for each qualifying family member, and you can all get citizenship, okay? Now, I don't want to even deal with the upgrades because that's not even important, but if you're already under permanent residency, it's a lot cheaper for you to do that, all right? It's $10,000. But if you are heritage, this is us. For those people who may have Sierra Leonean DNA, instead of getting it for free or paying the $400 fee like you did before, you will now only have to pay $100,000 every single applicant.
You know, one of the most disheartening things, honestly, about being a part of the diaspora is you can't win for losing. You know, you can't work with people. You can't go do your independent thing. You can't live in the Western world. You can't move to Africa. You can't be pro-Black. You can't be Pan-African. Any decision that you make is always met with resistance. And a lot of the resistance comes from our internal group. And what's so disgusting is because members of the diaspora, might I add, a lot of them that are failing and or people that have never even come to Africa, don't have any enterprises here, don't have any intentions here, are the ones who are going to ultimately cause those of us who love the continent, who are living here, who are doing business here, who do have family ties and so on and so forth. They're going to cost us opportunities because they can't just shut up. When I was a kid, my mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. The reality is everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different flavors. What you like, the next person might not like. With that being said, there are plenty. I'm talking about thousands of diasporans that have relocated to the continent, love it, and are making it home. Those of you guys that do not have similar intentions need to keep your complaints to yourself. Okay? Because you are destroying and causing hardship for those of us who are trying to make it here on the continent. So, unfortunately, in this clip, you'll see Dynast Amir talk about how simple YouTube beef and diasporans complaining, has now had a profound impact to the process of getting Sierra Leone citizenship. And in the midst of all these complaints, a diasporan trying to do business, offering tours, I'm sure has been impacted by this negativity and foolishness. So not only are you upsetting African governments and ruining opportunities and causing citizenship to be more difficult to obtain, you're also taking bread from one of your fellow members of the diaspora who is operating businesses here on the continent. You know, and this is just the beginning, because at the end of the day, guys, I have to say this, and it may be hard for you to swallow. The world doesn't owe us anything. We are victims to a point because of what has happened to our people in the past, but we really have no recourse to make these people do the needful. If we really are what we say we are, and if we really are opportunists, and if we really are the innovators and creators and the backbone of society, we should be able to get up on our feet and do something. Okay. I also want to add, you know, this sense of entitlement that I see coming out of the diaspora. You know, I think that us having a place where we are welcome, where people, you know, don't have any resentment towards us being there, and they're making their efforts to reach out to us. I think that is gracious. I think that's something that nobody else in the rest of the world is doing. And I don't know what diasporans expect, you know, the red carpet, because technically and honestly, you know, the provisions that are being made for diasporans, they're not being made for anybody else in the world. Okay, that group of African American diasporans that just got citizenship here in Ghana, let me keep it 100% honest, they weren't even really eligible per law. Per law, they're supposed to reside in the country for 5 years. Most of the recipients of that citizenship are not even residents here. They don't even live here. They flew in to get their citizenship. But again, provisions are being made, and the fact that we're getting provisions is not good enough. It's met with complaints, and naturally it's going to look like, hey, we're extending some type of olive branch to you people. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good enough. Okay, well then let's go ahead and up the ante. Let's go ahead and, you know, because at the end of the day, the fact remains, these are developing nations. They need people that are going to bring something to the table. They don't need a bunch of homeless, jobless, you know, leeches coming to their society. That's not what they need. They need talent. They need investment. They're trying to accommodate us to a point. But again, okay, we have an opportunity to do it here. And instead of focusing on trying to make the most out of, you know, as Master P used to say, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, a lot of people are just complaining about that opportunity even being available. You know, so my advice to you diasporans, and a lot of you hypocrite members of the diaspora community, a lot of you YouTubers, okay, because you're here living, enterprising, traveling in Africa, meanwhile communicating to the diaspora at large all the problems and how you don't like it, and they shouldn't buy land, and they shouldn't marry, and they shouldn't do this, and they shouldn't do that, all while you're doing those very things. If that's not the definition of a hypocrite, I don't know what is. And those of you guys watching these people, think about that. Think about their hypocritical behavior. They're here living, enterprising, doing business, but they don't want you to. It's worthy of examination. So I wanted to send this message out again because each one teach one, you know. When I decided, for instance, to leave the Western world because of many laundry list of reasons, okay, I didn't slam those that choose to stay there and endure it. Rather, just share the information to those who want a different lifestyle. Why can't the diasporans be okay with the fact that some Western blacks want to return to the continent, have connections to the continent, acknowledge their connections to the continent, want to live and thrive on the continent, are making a life? What is their problem with that? They can choose to continue living the way that they are. Okay. And it's quite natural because we found prospects here that we're going to reach out to our community and tell them about it. And this is just another testament to how one bad apple ruins the whole bunch for other people. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.